I want to find out what really is the correlation between Ghana and Nigeria and then all the African countries. Now, there we have borders and stuff, but hey, I think we are one big family. Ubuntu, that's what we stand for. We are one big family. So it doesn't matter which country you find yourself in. As long as you're on the African continent, you are my brother, you are my sister. We keep pushing our agenda forward. So, all the way from Lagos, Nigeria, today, joining us for the very first time onto the Power Impact series. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome onto the platform no other person than Somto Alvena Ode, all the way from Lagos, Nigeria. Hello, Alvena. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you, Benjamin.
Right. Hope you're doing good.
Yes, I'm doing very fine, thank you.
How is Lagos? How's
Oh,
Lagos? How's Lagos?
hustle and bustle, it sits and never.
That's it. That's the spirit. Is hustle and bustle. That's the spirit. That's the spirit. That's the spirit. That's the spirit.
Yeah,
Beautiful. You elected a new president, so you are in a new
exactly.
face. You're in
One
a
with
new face.
transition. Yeah,
Mhm.
yes.
Yes. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Yes. So Havana. Yeah. So she's a brand manager with a
Yes.
Fiber One broadband. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any issue with your broadband, yeah, the manager is here.
We're not in Ghana yet.
Yeah, your brand manager is here, so don't worry. Today we're gonna have a smooth network for that because the brand manager is here. She's going to make sure everything is in order. Right. How's your year been from January? So now we entering into
I think
August.
it,
How's it been?
I think it was fast. I think it was very fast. I was like, I can't. No, this cannot be the seventh month. It was so fast. Oh, it
Right.
has been good.
Think some people are pushing. Some people have some projects and some deadlines to meet, so they're pushing the year so fast. So the moment you slack and you take your eyes off, you're going to be left behind
Mhm.
because they are pushing it very fast. All right, right. So if you're joining us here, thank you so much. Welcome to the Power Impact Series show. Get to the chat area. Let me know who's online. Let me know where you are joining us from, and let's keep the vibration going on. Right. So Avena Ode, who is Avena Ode?
Hmm.
That's $1 million question, right?
Hmm. The question is, what version of Alvina do you want to meet today?
Okay, I think we want to meet 3.0.
Yes, so Alvina is a branding expert, a marketing specialist, a creative person.
Mhm.
She's the kind of person that can start something from the ground up without little or no supervision.
Okay.
Network is bad. Can you see the network? Okay.
Yes, that's what I said. The brand manager is here today, so all broadbands. You all broadbands, respect yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So yes, so I'm more of a creative person. Branding, it's my specialty. I'm able to create something out of nothing. So that's where I shine. Able to brand and go to market strategies. All those things that I really get really excited about doing. Branding, digital marketing, creativity.
Mm,
That's my core. Yeah.
mm, mm. Says that's a call. Digital marketing. All right. So did you start? How did the journey start for you? How did it start? How did it all start? Were you in it already, or where did you come from? Where were you blown from into into the digital
So
marketing
I
area?
can feel like, okay, so like I said, it was more like um I kind of stumbled upon it, like I was
Okay.
before we started, I actually came back to Nigeria and ready to take on the challenge of, getting employment as
Okay.
every young graduate has the hope of getting employment, right? And then I realized that they would ask me, yes, I understand you have a degree, but what else can you do? And I
Okay.
was not informed that I needed to have something else besides a degree, And I'm like, this does not make any sense. I've been in school, so what else do you want me to have except a degree? And then obviously that was what made me to say, you know what, I have to start to ask these questions. I have to see what I can develop in myself that can also be an added value to others around me. So that was
Right.
where the journey actually began. Yes.
Okay, so right after school, I mean, you had your degree, and then
Yes.
what was the intention? What was the plan after getting the degree? What was next? I mean,
Next was supposed to be a job, but like I said, when that didn't fall through, I had to ask myself certain questions, what do you want to do? What can you do? What's your purpose? What is going to make what will you do that will make an impact in people's lives? Besides
right,
that, I was like, what can you do that is new? Because like I had lived in the UK and I saw how people order things online, and Nigeria was still far then, like in terms of online marketing. It's not like now where we have e-commerce stores, left, right, and center and all that. But then it was just almost we didn't even have any before the entrance of some big e-commerce brands that came into play. So at that time, I obviously learned how to design logos and websites because I needed to offer that as a service. And it was more like as I was answering the questions to myself, what else can I do besides branding? I started to answer those questions for myself. And of course, it now ended up turning into a business because I realized that some people needed these skills that I was acquiring at the time. So I taught myself how to design a logo, taught myself how to register a business, taught myself how to design a website. So I now realized that, the entire process I was going through, even selecting the name of the company and making sure that the name of the company has some catchy, vibes that would attract a customer. And then, of course, designing the website and making sure that the website also makes the customer stay. This entire process, at the time, I was doing it and I didn't know that that was what branding was. At least that's the beginning of branding, right? So I was able to come out and say, oh, you want to start an engineering firm? That's fine. I think you should call it this. I think you should wear this color of helmet. Make it different. Let it not be yellow. Let it be pink or let it be blue. Something
okay.
that will stand out. At that time, I had all those ideas and I was able to help people differentiate themselves in the market. But I didn't know that that was what I was branding that I was doing. I didn't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, she said she didn't know that that's what she was doing.
No.
Was it something? Was it something in it? Like, did you love doing that? Like, you want to help people with that? I mean,
Really excited. It's like, ooh, it's like a challenge for me. Everybody's going left. Let's go right and see what is there. Let's try something different. Let's not do what others are doing. I'm an advocate of not following the crowd, differentiating yourself. Right. So I was
okay,
able to help people to differentiate their brand in such a way that they just stood out. And when you
right.
stand out, it's easy for you to attract eyeballs. So
Mm,
that's
mm, mm. No, you say that again. When you do what?
when you stand out, it's
When
easy
you
for you
stand
to
up.
attract eyeballs.
Oh, okay.
And
Mhm.
those eyeballs end up converting to profit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Wow.
so that was my journey.
So the whole thing is that sometimes you'll be doing something that it's widely known as a main profession or a
Yeah,
main kind of role, but
yeah,
because you have no idea about it, you might feel that this one of my passionate things. Let me just do it and do it
yeah,
for doing sake. All
yeah.
right. So at what point were you prompted, or how did you get to know that hey, this thing that you are doing is a whole empire or it's a whole business model? At what point were you kind of pricked that to know that hey,
I
this is
think
something?
it was when I decided to be more professional about it. I decided to register the business, right? Get this.
Right.
The name of the business was supposed to be Legacy Extract, which was
Legacy
supposed to
extract.
be extracting the legacy in you, right?
Wow.
So
Wow.
that was the name I came up with in my head. And then I spoke to an agent to help me register the name, and he stole it.
Oh,
Yes, and he
oh.
stole it. He stole it.
Had this person been in the business environment for that long,
For a
or
long
was just kind of
Yes, because I met a professional, like, help me to register a business, and then he stole it, and then told
wow,
me when I saw the name, I don't normally do this, but I had to take it. I
wow,
said, why will you take? So I was so frustrated, and then I spoke to someone about it. I said, what, just register another name, and then just make sure that what you're doing stands out. So it was from then that I realized that my ideas could actually be profitable, that people want it. When I sit down and think about something for you, it will be very attractive to you. So
right.
in that moment, I realized that I could even charge for name suggestions for a
Oh,
business.
okay,
Yes,
okay,
because some people want to start a business, but they don't know what to call it. Or they have so many ideas and they don't know what to prioritize. So I was able to even charge. So the entire process, like I said, from the ground up, choosing a name, choosing a color, choosing a logo, choosing what everything will become, that entire process is giving the business a brand identity. And like I
wow.
said, I'd done it for 2 years before I had a random conversation with someone, and the person said, okay, so you're into branding. I said, well, yes, I am. And then I went to him and said, what's branding?
Wow.
Well, yes, that was it for me. So immediately I found out, oh, this is what branding is. Oh, wow. It was like I found myself, it
Okay.
was like I found myself. I just delved into it, read about it, kept doing the research, and it was just so beautiful. I was like, this is me. I do this effortlessly. So I think I will just set up my foundation and tent and my house and everything here. I'm not moving anywhere else, but yeah, that was actually how I found myself in that aspect of my
Wow. Wow. That's how she found herself. I mean, now the question goes to you, our viewer. Have you found yourself? Has someone prompted you? Have you met that angel that will prompt you and push you back onto the main track that you're supposed to be on? You might be doing something, I mean, alongside your routine work that you're so passionate about, but maybe you've not really given an eye to it. Uh, have you met that person? Alvena met that person, and that person has made her pitch her tent. She has moved her Lego. She has moved her signboard. She has moved her empire there, and that's
Yep.
what she's making ends meet out of. So the question is, have you met that person that needs to push you? Right. So as young people, how do you react, or how was your reaction when this person now asks you that demanding question? About branding. Are you a branding expert?
Yes.
So for young people that are coming out that are doing stuff like what you were doing some years ago, in your instant of an advice for them when you are being approached with that kind of question, not knowing that this is it, this is the business that is going around, and then you are being posed with those questions, what are some of the reactions? What did you do when you were posed with that question, and what was the outcome that came after? I mean, next meeting that person, what was the conversation like when you had been posed with that question?
So thank you very much, Benjamin. So like I said, it was like an eye opener for me, right? So I
Right,
admitted that that's what I'm doing because obviously it made sense that that's what I was doing. But then I
right.
obviously had to go back and do some
Mm,
research to find out what is this about and see all the nitty gritties that involved. And then I realized that there were not many agencies in Lagos at the time that were doing branding as an agency. What we had was marketing agencies, right? Most
okay,
of the agencies
okay,
then were actually just focusing on, amplifying your message, marketing. But marketing and branding are not the same. And that's
okay,
where people get it wrong. They think,
okay,
oh, it's the same thing. It's not the same thing. So I was able to draw the line between marketing and branding, and the line was so clear. It's actually two different. Yes, there's a place they give a handshake to each other. There is a
uh-huh,
place that happens, but it's not
right,
at the beginning. It's not at the
okay,
beginning. Yes. So I
okay,
was able to figure that out. Yes.
right. So at the point that you saw it, I mean, it wasn't digital? I'm not sure it was on the digital platform. It was real branding. I mean, as you saying, is it getting the logo for the organization and what else? What was some of the things that you were now drawing that line, that clear line for people to see?
So one of the things that I was able to do was to tell someone, okay, fine, you have a salon, for example, maybe you sell weavers, because I had quite some female customers at the earlier on time of the business. So I had customers that probably sell weavers, and I'm like, you know what, you sell weavers, and everybody's almost doing that. How can we differentiate you, and
Mm,
how can we make you so obvious and so attractive? How can we make your brand be what people will choose when they're in the
okay.
marketplace?
Right.
So we came up with certain strategies. One, when they walk into the salon, everybody has to be on a certain attire, which was, of course, the branded outfits,
Oh, okay.
presentations. It matters a
Okay.
lot because
Okay.
people want to know that when they go into this place, people are not um, just maybe chewing gum, careless. People certain depending on who you want to attract, certain
Okay.
people want a certain style of treatment. So the
Okay.
branding goes beyond the logo. It goes beyond the website. It
Right.
becomes experiential. It
Okay.
becomes what you experience when you go to. Okay, so let me give you an example. When you buy a plane ticket, we all go past the business lounge. If it's an international flight, you go
Right.
past the business lounge and you can automatically see this
Right.
business lounge has more leg space.
Right.
This one is just two people on the aisle. Here they've packed us, we are six. Ah, it's aspirational. Are they not on the same plane? They are on the same
Yeah.
plane. But something has separated the experiences that those two customers will have, even though they are in
Right.
the same thing. That's what
Right.
branding does. Branding
Right.
can separate a business that has the same type of business in the same building. You can have a plaza or like a mall, and then
Right.
everyone there is doing the same business. But branding can separate that business and
Right.
package it in such a way that it looks attractive. It looks like I want to have this. It looks like an experience that people will crave for. And when
Right.
people start to crave for the experience your organization gives, then you can charge appropriately. That's why the business class is $2,000 more expensive than the other side.
That is why one is expensive than the other side. How are you branding your business? How are you branding yourself? And right. So with this one, now the business. Sometimes you are tempted to ask these questions. Is the personality? Let's take Alvena, and then let's say maybe you are dealing, and then your company name is Alvena Ventures.
Yeah.
With the branding, are we able to separate Alvena from Alvena Ventures, or the branding kind of?
Fantastic. Fantastic question. And I will tell you why. It's a fantastic question because a lot of people had this issue at the beginning when I was working
Okay.
with them.
Right.
I realized that most of my clients at the beginning, this was like early 2012, 2013, most of my clients were selling hairs and stuff, maybe clothing, and they will post it in the same page where they post their family, their husbands, their children. I'm like, no, 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 no. You cannot do that. No, 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 no. People still do it till date.
Right.
But what you have limited the potentials of that business from the get-go, right?
Right.
You have
Right.
to separate it. You can build an influential personal brand, all right, definitely.
Right.
But
Right.
you have to have a separate business brand that has a life of its own. So you see
Okay.
what the business owners do. Maybe they sell clothes, maybe they have a fashion line. They
Right.
use their page as a personal page now, as a marketing tool to show what is happening on their business page,
Okay.
right? So
Okay.
they use their own personal page to say, oh, if you go to my store right now, this is what I have there. And then
Okay.
when you come to the store, there is a different presentation. It's not now all about them. There are different
Okay.
people there. Because when a customer wants to buy something from you, they want to make sure that you you have a certain level of I would say differentiation. I would also say people want to associate themselves with a certain level of value. And
Okay.
when they come to your page and they cannot see anybody that has associated with that value, they
Mhm.
might hold back. But when they come into your space, whether it's your digital brand or your physical brand, and they see that, okay, this person has associated with this value, okay, okay, yes, I can let my money go. Do
Right.
you understand? So it has to be separated. Both personal and business brands can be profitable at the same time. You can be making money from your personal brand, you can be making money from a business brand, but they should never be merged together. No.
Okay, okay. It can never be made together. If you're joining us, you're welcome to the Power in Pursuit Show, where today we are having a wonderful discussion on digital brand and data unification. We're going to dive deeper, and then we want to find the separation with it. And then we are happy to have with us here Alvena today, who is the brand manager with our Fiber One Broadband. And that is a side that she is also doing other stuff together. Right. Have you been pushed into what you're supposed to do when you are not knowing that this is what I'm really supposed to do? That is her story that she's sharing with us here. She was doing it 2 years before, knowing that hey, this is the real business track that I have to be on. So separating your brand from
Personal,
your business and
yeah.
personal brand from your business. Because sometimes you see somebody, just as you're saying, I mean, somebody selling hair products, doing, or someone who is having a boutique selling menswear, but then you get to see the kind of apparel this person puts on, and then you wondering, is this guy really owning that boutique, or you just say it silently. You don't say it so loud. Silently, like, is he
Yes,
really?
of course. Yes.
Because
You have to
because you
definitely
want
be an advocate of what you sell. If you cannot
right.
advocate for what you sell, then why would another person buy it?
Exactly. Exactly. So perfect, perfect. So yes, we've been able to also differentiate between a little bit of marketing and then branding. We have been able to draw the lines in between it. Yeah. So thank you so much. Let me get into the comment area and see what I have in here. So I'm having here Ambassador Prince Kujo Hilton. He says, I'm watching you all the way from Spintes in Accra, Ghana. Javier Asante Gabriel says, I'm watching you from Lomnava in Ghana. Mackenzie Amore says, I'm watching you from DC, popularly known as Dansoman City. Do you know Dansoman? Do you know any area in Accra? Or if not yet been
No,
to
and I've
Accra?
actually been to Accra. I have
You've
been.
been to
I think that
Accra?
was about
Okay.
yes, I have been. I think that was 2017,
Okay,
2016.
okay, right. That's
When
quite
I
some
was
time.
coming
Yeah,
to
right. Yeah, you need to get
yes.
her because we've done a lot of brandings here, so you need to get here. You'll be having the old pictures. We've done a lot of brandings here. We've been
Okay.
able to separate the personal brand from the individual. So you getting it right. So okay, now that you were able to separate the lines between the marketing side and the branding, and you're able to let people know that hey, you need to do that, like get into the shop or to the salon, you see the people branded in a kind of t-shirt or kind of apparel that it's appealing to their clients and their customers and all that. Those were kind of offline branding. Now for those that were or that were going to be introduced to the online branding, what are some of the things that you did for them? What are some of the things that you were able to come up for them so that they become also visible for billions of eyeballs who were online? What were some of the things that you were able to do for these people, or you advise so it to be
Yes.
done?
So at the earlier time in my career, like I said, I realized that some brands were heavy physically, but they were not non-existent online. you
Right.
know. So I think the basic things were just, first of all, register your business with Google, right? Because
Right.
Google has a business registration section, and when you were able to do that, if I'm searching for you, I can find you. I think
Right.
that was one of the first things I was able to get a couple of people do. And then I think at some point, Google was also doing some trainings in Lagos at the time, which I was also a part of. Um, but the basics was okay, no problem. You don't want to be online. Do you understand that you're leaving money on the table? If you have a social media page, if you have a Google page, people are looking for you. Social search engine optimization. Basically, if your brand is not optimized, how will people find you, right? I mean, we can use. Let's use the African Citizen Speakers Network as an example, right?
Right.
African Citizen Speakers is connecting with different people around the world.
Right.
If if I didn't have any digital footprint, I wouldn't get a call from African Citizen Speakers, right?
Right.
They found
Right.
me because I exist. My profile exists digitally. And that was
Right.
how I was able to convince people to say, see, just have a footprint of what you do online. You never know who is going to find you and what value can come out of that in the long run.
Right.
So we were able to do that with social media, having your website, having your Google ads on online and all that. And that was the first stage of becoming digitalized.
Okay. 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 Right. That was the first stage of letting people become, I mean, move to the digital world or having leave their footprints online so that they can be easily accessed by other people that are online. So perfect, perfect. And one was how is the Google registration being done? I mean, how can one say, okay, let me register my organization, or let me register my company with Google? How is it being done? Or you just
I think
create an online?
you just go to Google and then you search for Google business registration. It's going
Right,
to pop up. Some
right,
steps to follow. Google would actually send a code to that location. You need a physical address. They will send a code to the location. You put in that code on the back end, and then it's verified. Sometimes I think they can also verify via phone calls. I don't know. They have different
right.
ways you can use to
Ways.
verify that location. But what that does is for you is that one, your business will appear on Google Map. Your business appears on Google Map. Two, your business will have a portion for reviews. So when you've given someone a fantastic service, you tell them kindly, tell other people about it on that review
Right,
section. And then of course it also helps you to be found. Like we said, that is a major, asset you can have. And then when we talk about search engine optimization, what does that really mean, right? It just means making sure that you can be found. That is
right,
just what the big language means. Just making sure that you can be found. So, in the point of registering with Google, Google is going to ask you for your website, your phone numbers, your basically your contact details. So when someone
right,
is searching for you, they can easily click on when they get to the page where Google
right.
has, where you registered your Google, they can call you directly from that page. They can go
Okay.
to your website directly from that page. So just go to Google, search for Google business registration and follow all the processes. It's very easy to do.
Right.
Yeah.
It's very easy to do. Just follow the process, just follow the steps and get your organization or get your business that you've started be registered there so that it can easily come up when people search for it online so you can become visible. Rah, 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 rah. If you're joining us here on Power Impact Series Show, we are having a wonderful discussion and a story with a lot of stuff in it being shared with that. Right. So now to our topic and our main stuff. Now that you've been able to do this digital branding, how do you now link it or correlate it with data unification? How do you bring it all together so we sum it all with our topic? How do we do that? Or what is the correlation between these two?
Okay. Thank you very much, Benjamin. So now let's go to the big myths that we have to choose this afternoon. This is just big English, right? The truth is that
Right.
digital brand data unifications are It's just a process that
Right.
every organization who wants to have a holistic view of who their customers are has to go through. I'll give you an
Right.
example. What do you think that Facebook sells?
Mm.
What do you think Facebook sells?
Adverts.
Yes, Facebook sells adverts, but why do you think big companies are trusting Facebook? Even big companies, small companies, everybody is trusting Facebook with their money. It's because
Right.
Facebook has the data.
Right.
They have
Right.
a back end of data to say 6 years to 10 years. What when you're placing your adverts, this is the segmentation. You can choose which location. Do you want the advert to be shown in people in the UK, or just in Lagos,
Right.
or just in Ghana? That's
Right.
data. That's data that
Right.
has been segmented in the back end, right?
Sure. Sure.
So
Sure.
so all those choices that we make, we come to the platform, we say no, we want to choose this, we want to choose that, we want to choose this. Everything is working, and it's easy for you to choose because the data is available and the data has been segmented and the data has been connected to your choices. That's
Right.
basically what data unification, what the one of the benefits of it. So now
Okay.
let's Facebook is a big giant. Let's talk
Right.
about the small businesses that we have today, right?
Right.
One of the major problems I would say that businesses don't even know that they have is because they are not utilizing the data they already have. They are not maximizing the people that are already in their network. I give you
Okay.
an example. I've bought things online before. Maybe you just saw an advert on Facebook, you like the product, and then you said, you know what, let me just buy this item. And then, when you're buying an item, they have to deliver it to you, right? So at that
Right.
point, you put in your phone number, you put in your email address sometimes, and then you put in your address.
Right.
And then you get the item. And sometimes you never hear from the company again. You might
Mm-hmm.
want to buy the
Right.
item again, but you can't find them, they can't find you, and that's just that door just closes on you automatically. It's
Right.
the responsibility of the business to have a data unification process that pulls all their data from Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, CRM, whatever place where you have interacted with any customer at any point in time, and have
Right.
one place where that data is available to you to make decisions, to engage with the customers. Oh, you bought something from us 3 weeks ago. We've missed
Okay.
you. Oh, when are we going to see you again?
Okay.
It's the responsibility of the business. So that is a major thing I want to start, pushing and discussing, because I realize that most businesses are not doing it, and
Okay.
they're complaining that they're not getting sales. But have
Okay.
you looked at your data? Have you looked at all the phone numbers you've collected in the past 10 months? Have you even
Okay.
reached out to any of them? They're
Okay.
looking for you too. And you know that a customer journey is not complete until that customer becomes an amplifier for you, until that customer starts to market your brand, and
Right.
until that customer comes back again.
Right.
A lot of people think one sale, that's it. No. For a growing business, for you to know that you have successfully won a customer is when they come back over and over again. And even when they bring somebody, that
Okay.
cannot happen if your data is not unified and if you're not communicating with them.
Wow. Wow. This a lot. If you're not being able to unify all this data, I mean, you collect a lot of data. You are an online business, so you are an online shop, and people are buying from you. You are sending them their packages, and then some do go with dispatch riders, and then they do sign receipt of goods and stuff. You ask yourself, and this is the question Alvena is asking you: when or what do you do with those data that you collect? Is it a normal routine that you just have to do it and say, okay, I deliver the goods, yes, the person got it, and they sign off, you have their contacts and all that? How do you engage these potential customers for them to become your evangelist, to talk about your
Exactly.
business? Do you
Yes.
do that? Do you do that? Something, I sometimes it's funny. You get people having a very long book, long notebook. They have all the numbers there, and once the notebook is full up, we park it somewhere else. So how do we unify this kind of data? I mean, how do we migrate from this brick and mortar kind of thing, writing all these notes, this data, this contact of customers, and then piling them in these big notebooks? How do we move them into the digital world so that it can become easily reachable? As you're saying, I mean, I'm telling you, there are people here. I mean, if you here, just get to the comment area and let me know that yes, I'm part. Just raise your hand. Let me know that you've been doing that, and let's see how best we can unify this kind of data into a meaningful, I mean, analysis, so that we can continue following up on our customers. Get into the chat area. Let me know if you are like that. Man, that's why I'm being able to share my story. I know you are also there. Let me know what you also want to share. Thank you so much. Right. Okay, let me just get, I think there's one question here. Yes, but attention to respect data protection rules too. To
Of
not
course.
abuse. Yes. And I think, thank you so much, Jos. Yes, thank you so much, Jos. Yeah, Jose, thank you so much. This man is a wonderful guy here. Yeah. So I think is a good point you've raised there. I think a lot of people also collect more data than necessary,
Yep.
more data than necessary. And then, as we're saying, there's no any proper way they are following the data protection rules.
Yes.
And then, as we just said, this full scabs, at the end of the day, they just throw them into the trash,
Exactly. Yes.
and then
Yes.
it's out there. So, what
Yes.
are some of the advice that you give to some of these things? How do we do? How do we keep this data? These are personal uh, information, personal
Yes.
identifiable information of your clients. How do you keep this one so that you can really use them later on? How do you do that? How do you do that,
Yes.
please?
So,
What advice?
I'm happy you brought up that. Depending on which country you're in, in Nigeria we have what we call NDPR, which is the Nigerian Data Protection Regulation, and of course, as a business owner, you should know what is going on, in what regulations can affect you in the country. And then we also have what we call NCC in Nigeria, which is like our national communication, like the body in charge of communication in general. And they've banned so many
Right,
things, like you cannot even send bulk SMSs to do not disturb contacts right now. You can't do that unless you're a
right,
registered bank
right,
or something. So they've banned certain
right,
things.
right, right,
However,
right,
that is where, of course, having someone that's experienced comes in, because due to that, at the end of the day, it's still your responsibility as a business to find a way to communicate with your customers. And if somebody has bought something from you once, right, chances are they might buy again if you are
right,
able to communicate with them. Obviously,
right,
because you've set their needs at some point. Going
right,
silent is not the way to go for a business.
right,
No.
right,
So that is where you have situations where, when you, okay, let me use emails for example, because that's like the easiest way, fastest way, and all that. Let's say
right,
you use email, bulk emailing service to communicate with your customers. You would see that they have the option to probably unsubscribe from your mailing list. Sometimes, depending on the platform you're using, they can even ask them to authorize. They can send them a code first saying, "Do you authorize to receive messages from this company?" And then you can
right,
now choose whether you want to do that or not. So those
right,
measures are put in place there to protect the customer. But if I'm a customer and I've bought something from somebody once, chances are I want to know, maybe when they're having a discount sale, or when they're having, a buy two get one free, I want to know. So most likely, if it's a business that I like, I would not unsubscribe from their mailing list. Well, that is me. So people are different as well. But however, it's still the responsibility of that business to reach out. My
right,
point is, a lot of businesses don't reach out to their existing customers. They're always looking for new ones. And that's one of the reasons why I said this is the topic. Yes, they're always just looking for a new ones. And the truth is that when someone has experienced your product one time and they liked it, they loved it, chances are they will buy again. But if
sure.
you're not in a place where they can see you, or you've not reached out to them, most likely that's the end of the customer journey for you.
Wow. That's the end of the customer journey for you. Thank you so much. Thank you if you are just joining us here on the Power and Pursuit Show. And we are here with Vena Ode, who is actually breaking the nuts for us, the branding nuts. She's making it easier and simple for us. Yes, we love it. We love it. We love it. Yeah. So Jose comes in and says, okay, banks lost battle with telcos in retail business precisely because they never used the data they had. And it's so obvious and true. This fuse into what you just said. This fuse. A lot of people do just do one time purchase from your online shop and then
Yeah,
that's
that's
it.
it.
They don't keep, I mean, the records as well. And probably you also don't keep the records. So I know the other online shops that sometimes even your day of the week that you were born. On that day, they send you a happy day.
Happy birthday.
You
Yeah,
know, they're trying to keep the connection. They're trying to keep their
yeah,
business relationship going, and then so yes, these are all part of the branding things. Yeah. So hi. Let's get it real. Let's get it real. Let me know who is online with me, where you joining us from. If you have any questions, you can now pop in your questions. And then also, I'm sure by now you've been able to come up with your hashtag. So Avena, this is what we do on our episode each time. We come up with hashtags for the day that carries out throughout the whole week. So we let audience come up with hashtags of whatever they gleaned from word that you've shared with us. I have been glaring a lot, so I'll be putting down mine. So, hey, if your hashtag is ready, you know how we do it. You can bring it out. Let's compare our notes and see if we're on the same page. If not, we add up and add up and add up on the many hashtags that we have. Yet, so keep it coming. Keep your questions coming. Let's know who is joining us, who is online with me again. Let's see what Jose says. And Jose has been in the banking sector for a very long time now. So he's coming up with all those figures and those data for us. I fully agree. For instance, in dentistry, yes, so now he's running a dentistry business. Yes, it's in Accra, Ghana. Yeah, one of the finest. So yes. Sonrisa, yay, we come in there again. It says fully agree. For instance, in dentistry, if the rule is to spend 80% of marketing expenses on your existing clients and just 20% looking for new ones. How are you doing that? How do you no, because
wow.
the whole thing is, the whole idea is we are grabbing customers, we're moving in for customers, we are going and I think retention or our already customers, we don't really look at them because we think we've finished
Yeah,
doing the business with them. And I mean, let's move on, let's get the
let's
others.
move
Yes,
on.
but I
Yeah,
think, yeah, I think these percentages are good. The
yeah,
rule is to spend 80% of marketing expenses on your existing clients. Okay, so you just said it. Avena just
yeah.
said that one as well.
Because this is why, at the heart of branding, right? At the heart of branding is communication. At the
Oh,
heart of branding is communication. You have to be able to communicate your value as an organization to people. And who better, which other sector of people will be better to communicate to than the people that have already tasted your brand at one point? You
yeah.
understand? If you've gone to a restaurant before and you know how their food is sweet, nobody needs to tell you. Next time you want to go again. But
Right,
if
right.
you forget because you are busy and you forgot and they just sent you a message 3 weeks ago, we were delighted to feed you the finest soup. We would love to have you again. Ah, it immediately reminds you of the experience that wait, oh, that's true. It's been three
Right.
weeks since I went to this restaurant. Ah, I want to go there again. Oh, I want to
Wow.
go. What happened at that point? You had a good experience. You
Mm,
forgot
right,
about it because work got busy. You had too many deliverables and KPI.
right.
But they reminded you that 3 weeks ago you had this
Okay.
experience. So imagine
Wow.
if that was part of a marketing strategy that you were using as a business to remind your customers about the value that you have as a business. And of course, you throw in something like if you visit us in the next 24 hours, we will be giving
Mm,
you a special palm wine or a
Ah.
special. You understand? They'll say,
Yeah.
I beg, where is this?
Let me go back.
Ah, ah. So because 10 minutes before you got that message, you are not even thinking about food though.
Right.
But
Right.
these are the kind of personalized touch that if a
Right.
brand has, it will just differentiate you automatically. Easy,
Wow. Wow.
easy. Because one thing that I always tell my customers and people that I've worked with in the past is that if somebody is not if you come into a sector and you realize that this sector is all about profits, all about sales, sales, sales,
Mm-hmm.
sales, sales, sales,
Mm-hmm.
you can see the disconnect. You can
Right.
see the disconnect. So
Right.
it's always better to find a place where you unify the conversation between the customer and the business owner. Because
Right.
every brand has a personal aspect of them. Do you understand?
Sure.
It might be a
Sure.
business brand, though,
Right.
but there's still a perception you get from that business
Right.
brand. There's
Right.
how it makes you feel. I've had
Mm.
people talk about different brands that different airlines they've used. Or let me use my the best company in the world, Fiber One, as an example. Right?
Right.
I can
Right.
tell you, I had used Fiber One for like 1 year
Right.
before I started working with Fiber One. I
Okay.
didn't even know. So I had been a customer. So I realized that when I switched to another provider at the time, I realized that the speed was not the type of speed I was used to. I was like, no, 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 this is not the type of speed. No, 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 I don't want this. No, 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 no. I just cut off immediately. I said, no, 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 no. But guess what? That provider that I switched to before, I've been using them for
Since.
years, like 4 years. You know, so once you taste good soup, it will be hard for you to go back.
To go back.
I started asking myself, so is this what I was using then? No, this thing is rubbish. I didn't even know that this was what I was using. Do you understand? So it's just like that. When you taste the value someone has to give you or a business has to give you, it will be
Right.
difficult for you to want to associate yourself with something else. So what does branding do? What does data unification does?
Mm-hmm.
One, it helps you remind your customers about the value that you carry as a business.
Right.
No business just wakes up and opens shop. No business
Mm.
opens shop and says, I want to fail. No. Every
Sure.
business that opens wants to succeed. So, what are we discussing here today on African Season Speakers? We are saying that because you want to succeed, make sure that you're dotting your I's and you're crossing your T's. And you're not just
Right.
focusing on new sales, you're also focusing on those that you have acquired and you nurture them. Because a
Right.
lot of people don't nurture their customers. You know what I mean by nurturing?
Yes.
Constant care. It's
Okay.
like a relationship. Oh. Ah,
Right.
if you don't text her, if you don't call her, if you don't tell her, I miss you, it's like this person has forgotten about me, no problem. That is how it is with business. You have to nurture your existing customers, nurture them in such a way that they feel that love and warmth from the brand. Once they do, like I said, I gave the example of coming in the next 24 hours and get a free palm wine. That's nurturing. I don't know why palm wine is in my mouth today. I've not had palm wine in a long time.
Where the palm wine sellers? You need to send her a message.
Anyway, I'm just giving an example. So if you have an incentive that you use to attract people back to your brand, yes, it's an incentive, but it also makes the person feel, these people care about me. Oh. Guess
Right.
what? Next time when they want to do their birthday party, where do you think they will go?
Right.
When they
First
want to
person.
do their engagement party, where do you think they will go to?
We are
It's
coming to
the
you.
person that will that is what we call top of mind.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
that's what we call top of mind. So if you want your brand to be top of mind, you have to focus on nurturing your customers, your internal
Right.
customers, nurture them to a point where they are your advocates.
Mm, mm,
Yeah.
mm, mm,
So so
mm,
so that's
mm.
that's that's, that's basically all we are discussing today.
That's basically what we are discussing today. Nurture your customers so that they become your advocates. Amma Beatrice Alovo says, hello, Benjamin. She's joining us all the way from Lomé, Togo. How are you doing? How are you doing, Amma? Yes, we're discussing your topic today. Okay, Mackenzie said, in fact, every business must succeed, but how you do it determines how far you're going to go or how best your business is going to be. I mean, relevant in the system. How best you're going to do it. I mean, you need to. And then Jose comes in and says, because the existing customers look for the new ones for you, exactly as you said, the advocates,
Exactly.
they are doing all the marketing for you, and so you spend less on looking for new ones, but you spend more on maintaining this wonderful people. Wonderful. It's been a wonderful, insightful section with you, Alvena. It's so eye-opening, and then the things that we ignore are really the real things we need to focus on. We are actually majoring on the non-necessary ones, and then we pushing in all our energies on things that are not really important. But I think these are the things we need to major in the minors, which is going to keep us where we're supposed to be. So thank you for bringing us all these wonderful wisdom nuggets for this episode, and we are truly grateful for you coming. And yes, before you give us your final words, or before we dive in any further with no questions coming in, yes, how are you people? Do you have any questions for her? Do you have any encouragement for her? Yes, she's going to share all her social media, handles with us, so we can follow, we can link up with her, and then we can do more businesses with her as well. But if you have any encouragement, this is the time for you to bring it out, so I will share it with her as well. Yes, so the hashtag for today. Hey, here we go with a hashtag for this. I mean, it's a lot that I'm now thinking of. I'm kind of in a dilemma. Which one should I pull up today? Which one should I pull up today? Because I've gotten statistical, figures here which can easily be used 80-20, easily for us to use it. We have all the others, all the fat getting retaining customers, getting customer evangelist. A lot. But hey, here we go. Are you ready? Let's
Yes.
let's take our hashtag for so that's it. Our hashtag for today is out there. That is our hashtag for today. What
Oh,
else can I do?
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Our hashtag for today, our people and cherished viewers, our hashtag for today is straight up there. What else can I do? So when you're thinking through, when you think all is done, when you think you've you've just hit the rock, when you think that hey, I'm there, I'm getting all the good wishes, I'm getting all the encouragement, just ask that question to yourself. What else can I do? All right, thank you so much. So we want to take our final words from Alvena O'Day's home.
It was
What are your
such,
final words for us today
it
at this
was
time?
such an absolute pleasure to have this conversation with you, Benjamin. It didn't even feel like, it was such an absolute pleasure. And yeah, so my final words would be that we can do more, just like your hashtag says. What else can I do? And I can say we can do more. We can do
Yay.
more as a personal brand. We can do more as a business brand. We can do more. So it just this your hashtag also just reminded me of what I told you at the beginning when I was looking for a job and people asked me, besides your degree, what else do you
Hey,
as a skill, right? So,
right.
what else can you do to grow your business? What else can you do to be visible as a personal brand? There's so much more to do. And I think we've discussed that in this show today. Thank you so much for having me.
There's so much more to do. Yes, and we've discussed more here. I think there's going to be another section. We're going to have a part two of this one, most definitely. Most definitely. Most definitely. Most
I
definitely.
would love
We're going
to. I would love to.
to
I would
do
love
we
to.
can do more. I'm getting most of the hashtags. We can do more data unification. Let it keep coming. Let it keep coming. Let it keep coming. Don't stop letting it come. Right. So Where can we find you on your what are your digital footprints so that we can
Yes.
work in there?